Actually, or Italian.
Or Italian, yes.
One or the other.
Which I am a little.
Okay, there you go.
Well, that's why
there
you're
you go.
moving your
Dude,
hands.
that's just passion, man. I see WebJP already in the chat just waiting. That man was born on Wi-Fi. Bred on Wi-Fi. Molded by it.
Yeah, he's going to be waiting a little bit.
Can't wait to see him play again. But that's not what we got on stream for you guys right now. Instead, we got Mr.L, another frequent of these Wi-Fi tournaments who's been doing really well. Up against GoDMoDe, who I'm not going to lie, is a player I personally have not seen yet in these Wi-Fi brackets.
Yeah, he's he's a new face today. He's been solid though. He had a Ryu earlier.
I did do some cursory research on GoDMoDe in the Smash Data Player database. The two offline tournament results that I can see from him appear to be in Ecuador.
Oh.
So it's like that.
I like that.
It's like that's what we're dealing with today.
Yeah.
All right.
Now, what
Well
I do
done.
want to say is, GoDMoDe made it to winners finals in part by, I believe, by beating WebJP, and part of that was the switch to Shulk, and part of that was also his ability to get around Shulk's edge guarding and ledge trapping. Now, I really want to see how he's going to be able, or if he's going to be able to translate that into the Pikachu matchup, which is really just a whole different game.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how he's going to be able to do that too. Electing to start with Roy here instead, though, and that is understandable. I mean, you know, Shulk is one of this game's most buffed characters for sure, in regards to the last one over to this one. But so is Pikachu. And Pikachu is small and nimble and quick, and he flattens like a pancake for some of his moves. And regardless of the now buffed frame data of Shulk, I still feel like a character as quick and nimble as Pikachu would probably have an easier time getting around that, and I wouldn't be surprised if I found out that GoDMoDe felt the same. Roy, on the other hand, can play a little more in the meat. You know, he does such good damage up close, doesn't need to switch into certain Monados that would otherwise hinder him in other ways against a character like Pikachu. This is Roy, man. He's swinging, he's in the meat, and he's dead because his recovery is not always the best, or he just gets trapped by, you know, one of the best spiking counters in this game. One or the other.
Yeah. Now, earlier this evening, we have seen GoDMoDe playing the Ryu. So, I mean, the question has to be in everyone's minds now, but is a character switch potentially on the horizon? I like that little just paper cut of the sour spot up air off stage. Yeah, you take that 4 or 5%.
Take that and like it.
I love random sour spots that do nothing.
Hey, man.
They send
you like random sour spots that do nothing?
Fox single laser. It sends a message.
Well, hey, I mean, if you're a fan of sour spot hitboxes that do nothing in the chat, like Clamhead is, you got one of the best characters in the game for that right on stream for you guys right now.
Absolutely.
In Roy, who is down an entire stock against Mr.L right here, who's doing a pretty good job holding his own, already virtually lapping him in percent, but then the second jab back air of the game going to do it. I mean, Shulk ain't got nothing like that under his repertoire.
Yep. And see, I don't like jab back air because it's not as funny as just like a random sour spot.
Yeah, this just kind of happens.
I think that opinion's valid.
Yeah, this just kind of happens, man. I mean, as long as you don't call it Jer, I am personally fine. But I agree. You know, it's more of like a bread and butter thing that we're going to be seeing. And if he's able to get this percent up...
Oh, that was pretty.
Yeah, that was a really, really good up smash. Nice little wake-up one on top. He's like, I have enough frames right here before you're able to get this hitbox out to throw this one out. And I'm just going to do it. And what's the risk? He was at low percent. What is Roy going to do to you there? You're fine.
I mean,
you're fine.
Now, you say that.
I do say that.
You say that, but we've seen not only Roy's kill at ludicrous percents, but Pikachu's die at ludicrous percents. It's.
I know, bro. But 24. I mean,
listen.
I'm listening. I'm all ears, yo.
I don't.
All ears.
I mean, I don't know what else to say besides it's Roy. Okay, it looks like we are. Ooh, maybe a double switch.
Oh.
Might be a
he
stage
might be picking
thing.
the stage.
Might be a stage
but,
thing.
Oh, true.
No, he's the winner, though. I don't understand why. Well, no, they both have to switch, and I'm a dumbass.
Yeah,
but
the thing is,
yep, yes, you are.
I also wouldn't be surprised to see the Ryu come out though, because it was looking pretty good earlier.
That'd be a nutty counter pick, especially since Ryu is still generally the more unpopular of the two Shotos. But with all those buffs that he had in the last patch, you know, because Shotos seem to wake up to Christmas pretty much every time there's a patch in this game.
It's all.
I wouldn't be surprised to see that either, man. Ryu could be a pretty solid pick.
And the one area where it really seemed like God Mode was getting torn apart was what I was trying to focus on at the beginning, which is offstage and recovery. And the one thing that Ryu gives you in terms of recovery is a ledge snap on your up B, which is such a godsend in this matchup. But he's sticking with Roy.
Sticking with the Roy, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, and even
Now
so,
I really wonder what the stage is.
I'm starting to think maybe like he might have been a little bit scared of the Ryu pick. I mean, we can't see it on the screen right now because we are not God mode. But I'm willing to bet that he went to that character select screen, picked up his little token, hovered over Ryu, thought long and hard for a second, and then went back to Roy for what could be a plethora of reasons. We've all been there, you know, like we play this game, like, you know, the best way to learn how to commentate a game is to play it for sure. That's a quote from the great but not late D1. But either way, I'm starting to think maybe he decided to not go Ryu because, like, yeah, he could have snapped with up B. But side B, though, if he's forced to do that high or anywhere else, edge guarding Pikachu, man, that's terrifying. You know, and even Roy, you know, with just the one up B, I feel like that's a little more in the safe department. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I was going to say that, like, okay, maybe Kalos does give you a lot more, maybe Kalos does give you more room to run around as Roy and just win on stage so you don't have to get sent off stage as much. But the first stage was Town and City, so it's not like this is a big upgrade in terms of stage width. That killed off the top?
You know, insert something witty to say about that here, but that just dumbfounds me enough to the point where
that character has weaknesses.
they do, don't they?
If they don't, Pikachu doesn't even need to be near you to kill you off the top. Oh, man.
Ooh, you also don't even really need to be at significant death percent either. If you got hit by that cloud, that would have spelled disaster for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, talking about killing early, there is a Roy on the screen, so I'm not complaining too much, honestly.
Like that?
Yeah.
And all of his kills throughout this set so far, every single one have been off of that jab. Every single time. Jab back air, jab up air, doing its thing. That's going to kill regardless of what stage you're on, besides the big length of Kalos. So I am very curious, because you said, like, oh, maybe he went to Kalos for more space, but you brought up a point of having the first game be on Town and City. Either way, you know, it is smart to take Pikachu to a bigger stage like this, because on smaller stages like Smashville, he's so quick and has such powerful hitboxes, especially in his dash attack, which is just so deceptively strong for a character his size. He covers space so well. Speaking of covering space, man, that down smash was just so beautiful. Catching him with the little itty-bitty particles on that platform to suck you right into the Pikachu vortex, man. That's Mr.L for you to a T.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Mr.L in terms of, like, his recognition of when he can when he can use those smash attacks on, like, really cheeky landing hitboxes and projectiles and stuff. And, like, the awareness of the positioning to really exploit the utility of these smash attacks as well.
Absolutely. Awareness of positioning, awareness of priority. That's so important as well to know, like, what's going to be out what. I mean, he plays, you know, one of the most tippy-top characters in this game, if not the most tippy-top of the top tier. So, yeah, you know, it's definitely going to be on him to know that for sure. And regardless of all this space, he is just moving around it like butter and not letting God mode breathe at all. But, I thought that was going to be it because I saw him, like, I don't know if that's shield poke or if he dropped his shield right there, but either way, that would have been a dead Pikachu for sure.
Drag down and up smash. It's just open it like. And I like what you said about not giving him any chance to breathe, because that's really what it looked like on that last stock, where, like, even for the few moments where he had any semblance of stage control, he just seemed frozen. Like, oh my god, like, wait, what do I do now? I'm finally at a disadvantage. Like, what do I even try and get done?
My guy didn't even give him a chance. Did not even give him a chance to capitalize on that. That was the really, if anything, I think that's a very good observation by you. When he actually had stage control, he either didn't capitalize on it in time, or frankly, Mr.L just didn't give him a chance to capitalize on it in time. I mean, he was still down to stock, so it was a rough thing regardless. You know, you could talk about, you know, like, oh, I regained stage control, this and that. So frankly, he's the one who should approach. That kind of stuff doesn't necessarily matter if you are still the one who's down to stock. You're the one in the lead. Basically, it doesn't matter what position you're in, whatever the percentage is. If you are up a stock or if you are up in percent on the same stock, technically, you just don't have to approach for most scenarios or most cases, unless you're Cloud with limit or something special like that. But Pikachu Roy, nah, that's not something that has to exist in this matchup, especially when you're the character in that predicament that does not have a projectile.
And yeah, that's just like how to play with momentum 101 from Mr.L. Just being able to just completely. I think it's been a while since I've just seen anyone just short circuit their opponent like that. And I'm not trying to make an electricity pun, but it's like that was his stage counter pick, and he did have the opportunity to character counter pick, and it just it almost looked more out of in that last 30 seconds of the game, it looked more out of hand than even game 1 was. And now we're finally seeing the Ryu counter pick. I wonder if he stayed Roy an extra game because this is a best of 5 and he felt like maybe his Ryu does have the cost to maybe pull a reverse 3-0 if it really gets to that point. But we're gonna see on FE here.
It's certainly possible, man. Adding on to what you said before, I mean, it makes you think about, despite the fact that you beat him on his counter pick, it kind of makes you think, what's more important? Is it the stage counter pick or the character one at the end of the day? We have it formatted this way in competitive Smash Brothers for a reason, my friends, to find out what's the most important, and it's looking like that's what's going through GoDMoDe's mind right now, finally ripping out the Ryu, switching to Final Destination. No platforms for Pikachu to be able to run away from any potential kill confirms or kill setups on. No way to really get away from that Shoryu unless he's able to be very smart at a disadvantage. There's so many buttons, man.
And it's a credit. I mean, it looks, but at the same time, it looks really good for Mr.L, but he's totally in kill percent right now.
Yeah.
This is still Ryu that we're dealing with. Oh wow. Runs up and does it.
Again?
Oh, no, he didn't turn around.
Oh, he definitely meant to, though. He definitely, I don't know, maybe he was trying to read a roll or something, or he just whipped it out of buffer. It's possible, but either way, his head was in the right space.
Wow. And I was, one adjustment that I've seen from GoDMoDe here is that he went for a lot of focus attack early on in this game, and you saw he just went for it now, but, none of them have worked. And he is making the adaptation to use them in less exploitable circumstances, but this is still a character that's built on multi-hits. You have to be really sparing with how you use that move.
Yeah, but if Mr.L has his cards right, I'm not even sure if he's going to have too much to worry about regardless of how GoDMoDe is going to be able to use it. We're talking about Pikachu here, baby. That's some of the best multi-hits, or most consistent multi-hits in this game. And if there's one thing we know about Ryu, that's what Focus loses to. It loses to the multi-hits for sure. Neutral air, back air, all the whole shebang, and then just get punished so easily by another multi-hit in the down smash. That could be another anti-air for Focus if he GoDMoDe's not playing his cards right. But like you're saying, he's really only whipping it out in more precise situations where he feels like he has to. But the thing is, in that matchup, how much does that matter?
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
And again, it's look at the percents here. This is it's easy to see this and say oh my god, GoDMoDe's really not getting much done this game, but one stray tilt, one stray jab, and GoDMoDe should be up a stock.
Absolutely. And I think he's got that in the back of his mind.
But credit to Mr.L's defense here. Yeah, oh man, that's just a brutal mix-up off stage. It's you can say you got to tech that, but it's what option are you trying to prepare for there?
That's true, man. And no tech off the back air either, man, despite having any of that time to react. He was a relatively high percent, but it didn't look untechable to me. Either way.
No, yeah, certainly techable. It's techable in a vacuum, but there you go. One uppercut your problems away. And now we are in a last stock situation. Percent getting closer and closer to even.
It was a whirling uppercut right there. Shout out to Final Fantasy. Was dropping around today. Beautiful wake up out of the corner. And look at that!
Get himself out of the chest. Yeah.
Already even this out.
And he's parrying. Okay. How do you hit both of those parries but miss the tech earlier?
Oh man, dude, it's his GoDMoDe's awoken. It's beast mode. It's beast mode going to
GoDMoDe is switching on and off.
Oh, that would have been such a beautiful forward air.
Resources to save the jump until then. There's that confirm again. I think every single game. Every single game he's ended with that drag down nair and up smash. And he
what
didn't,
are you gonna do?
he
You're gonna
didn't
focus out
bring
of that?
out until the end of game 3 either. So that's something that he kept in his back pocket too. And yeah, you're right. The focus attack is not going to do you anything.
It's the most astute of observations, my friends. It's not just about what your character can do. It's about saving it for when you need